Let's talk about, you know, how can you fund your education here in the United States, and what are some of the opportunities that really exist. And as you can see, I'm walking. Actually, I'm just, today the weather looks good, and I decided to take a walk home. So there might be a lot of noise in the background, but bear with me. But I feel it is very important. Maybe we can talk about this. Um, oh yeah. So have you ever wondered, like, how can you actually fund your education here in the United States? I know most of you most of you are afraid of, they're afraid of, stepping out of your comfort zone and going for these opportunities where, when they really present themselves, and some of you have so many excuses that, but, it is very easy for you to find a way to fund your education if you're intending to come and study here in the United States. So what do you need actually? Let's assume you're in your home country, and in this scenario, let's assume you're in Africa. And because I am from Africa, so I talk much about education, and I talk much about students because I've been a student and I've been able to navigate that path. And at the same time, I also champion for a free and accessible education to children, and especially to those who come from very marginalized societies. So how can you actually fund your studies here in the US or abroad, anywhere, not only here in the US? What do you need to consider? I know, if I put myself in those shoes, like 3 years or 4 years or 5 years ago, I didn't have a dream of, like, one day I'll be a student in a foreign country. I'll be a student away from home, and all my mind was thinking was like, I'm gonna finish my education and then kaboom, I'll get a job back home, and then that's all. But one thing, if you have interest in, like, advancing your education outside your home country, there are some things that you need actually to factor in before you can actually think of studying abroad. One thing, you need to know what is required for a student. What should you have? It is very funny that you might find people, like, someone is asking, how can I come and study in the US? And that person doesn't even have a passport. Let's start from there. Or someone, because you can come and study here as an undergraduate, as a graduate, you can come and study, but at least you should have a passport if you're thinking of going and studying abroad. And I'm not just saying studying in the US, I'm just saying studying anywhere outside your country. You need to have a passport first, because someone will ask you, like, connect me, how can I get a good school? What should I? And that person doesn't even have a passport. So get the basics first. Get the passport. Oh, I can see some people joining me. Hi. I see you all. Yeah, I'm just walking. I'm just walking from work. And if you're joining right now, I'm just talking about education, because I'm a very big advocate of free education for children and for kids who come from marginalized societies. And when I hear people talking about opportunities, or maybe having an opportunity to go back to school, that really excites me. So assume you are in Africa, for example. Assume you're in Africa and you want to go and study abroad. One thing, just at least have a passport. At least have a passport. That will give you, that's like a gateway to unlock so many things that you don't know. Once you have a passport, then decide on what you want to go and study. Which field really excites you most? what you want to study. When you understand what you wanted to study, then start looking for where is that course offered outside your country. Look at so many things, like talking things about the schools, the geopolitical location of the country that you want to go. Check on the living standards of that country. Check on the enrollment completion rates in that institution that you will choose. Check on the tuition fee, because it's no wonder that so many people enroll for school but end up not completing their studies because the cost of studying is too high, and you are just in a rush to complete or just to get that admission, but you do not factor in how you're gonna live in that country. So many people end up dropping out of school of the things that they could have researched in time. So once you get your passport, once you get an institution, or maybe you have figured out, I want to go and study in this country, and this institution offers the program I want to go and study, then what do you need? You need, of course, tuition fee. That is a must. You need the tuition fee because you want to go and study. So that's common sense. You need tuition fee. You need money that will keep you in that country. And let's assume you don't have tuition fee. Now we are talking of someone who is in Africa, for example. I'm not saying like you guys don't have money, but I'm just giving a case scenario that you don't have tuition fee. And I get this a lot. How can I get scholarship? Can you plug me with schools that offer scholarship? Scholarships are very competitive. They are very competitive. And it is like you need to do a lot of research for you to know what kind of scholarship really exists in that institution. Most institutions have schools that offer scholarships per schools, so you need to know your program falls in which school. Does your school offer scholarships? Are there any available? And you can get all this information on your school's website. If they do have these scholarships, then go ahead and apply. Many people don't get this because they don't apply. They just think that you just place an application and then the rest, you'll just get awarded that. No, scholarships are very competitive and they are very rare to get. So in your home country, go to the website of that school and search and see whether do they have existing scholarships, or when do they actually advertise for those scholarships. If they do exist, then go ahead and apply. Attend some of the events that your school offers. I've interacted with students who actually got scholarship while they are in their home countries, and also they attended these webinars. They listened to what professors are looking for, and then they tailored their applications towards that, and they got the scholarships. Some got even graduate. There's something, if you're coming as a graduate, then there's something called graduate assistantship. So that is you get like a job. You'll be working in that department. You won't be paying fee. They actually exist in two forms. There is a full-time full-time graduate assistantship, and there is half-time. So a full-time means you get a position to be working in that department, and they will pay for your school fees, for your tuition. So you don't have to worry about that. And if you get a half-time, that means they will be offering you half of the tuition. So you just only have to mind about the half of the tuition, which is amazing. And these things exist. Go check it out online. Just go an extra mile. Don't be just sit there and wait for these things to come. There is another thing called teaching assistantship. So this is a teaching position where you get a chance to teach, and once you get up that position, so they might pay for your full tuition or pay half of the tuition. So there are so many ways you can get this and get your tuition settled. It's just a matter of doing research, good research, know where you're going, know the cost of living in that state. And for example, if you're coming to the United States, it is good to know like the cost of living per state, because it's not always the same. It is not always the same. There are some states that are very expensive, others are not. And so it is good to do that. Check things like culture integration. You know, you might be very shocked because you're coming to a very different culture and that you're not used to as an international student. So be prepared for that. And also be prepared of things like, you know, language barriers, because internationals, when they come here, they want to, you know, they want to talk like, you know, the locals here, which sometimes sounds off for me, because they even say, if you want to talk like the way people talk here, it's gonna take time. They say like Rome was not built in one day, so it's a step by step. So do research of all these things. Do research of all these things. There is also an option. If you get an admission, each school offers an option whereby you can pay your tuition in installments. You enroll in an installment plan, so you don't have to pay all the tuition at once. So you pay bits by bits up until when you will complete your education. So yeah, there's a lot to unpack. But I think I would again give a clarion call if you're willing and you're wondering how you're gonna figure out how you can go and study abroad. Just allow yourself to be more, I'm lacking the words to use, but just do due diligence, do good research, and then go for it. If that's your thing, go for it. Yeah, I see a couple of people here asking, where are you doing your live? Oh my goodness, yeah. I'm in the States, and I've been a student here. So I was asking, guys, stop calling him Didi. Oh, do I look Didi? Oh, you guys are funny. I don't mind about I don't care about such kind of stuff. I don't even know who is Didi. Okay, why? Okay, I want to learn physics in that accent. If you want to learn physics in that accent, what type of physics? Quantum physics. That was my interest at some point. My accent. You're gonna have to go all the way to East Africa. You will get that. You will get my accent. Yeah, I speak 5 languages, so my accent is terrible. Don't worry. But if you want to learn all this, you're gonna have to go back to Eastern Africa, and then you will get the accent. All right, I will leave it at there. Somebody said, thank you guys for joining. For those who've joined, I hope this is helpful. So let me know. Let me know, what would you want to know as far as studying abroad is concerned. And yep, if you find it interesting, then share it with your friends. Hi, Anthony, I see you. I see you. Oh, I'm almost like doing 2 miles to my home. Bye bye, guys. See you in the next live